What's going on, guys? This is Sidney Cumbie once again with yet another makeup video tutorial. Today I'm going to be using an RBFX foam prosthetic. I have a ton of these prosthetics, so many cool zombie ones, but today I decided to go a little weird and I wanted to try to put one of these random foreheads on myself. This is, I don't know what this is, maybe like an old age forehead or something like that. So I just thought I'd try something different, try to match my skin tone. I've never really tried to match my skin tone before, so just thought I'd try it. So yeah, here it goes. A nice RBFX prosthetic. Right here, that is one of my bdellium brushes. It's one of Thomas Surprenant's bdellium brushes. It's really nice. What I'm doing here is I'm using his bent glue brush to apply Prosaid to the nose piece, because instead of actually putting the Prosaid on my face, I'm putting it to the appliance, which is totally fine. And then of course I'm applying the center or the nose first, and now next I will apply the brow. And so I am actually spreading glue on my eyebrows, and as you can see, I'm also putting glue on the prosthetic, which is totally fine. You can either do your face or the prosthetic, or even both, whatever you want to do. I just don't go all the way to the edge with it. I stay away, maybe a quarter of an inch away, you know, an eighth of an inch to a quarter of an inch away from the edge, so that you can lay the edge down after you apply it. Alright, slow down a little bit just to show a little bit of me painting with this brush, the bdellium Thomas Surprenant's brush. These are some really great brushes, especially this bent glue brush. You know, you can really use it to get into tight areas, and you can put a lot of glue on this brush, so it's one of my favorites. And as you can see here, I'm just putting glue on the prosthetic, keeping away from the edge. You don't want to get glue on right on the edge, because you want to apply the edge last. And here I am, I'm pulling the prosthetic tight to make sure it fits properly. And with these RBFX prosthetics, they usually, I mean, have super awesome edges, as well as it's really just really soft and easy to maneuver, just really quality stuff. And you'll be seeing me use many more of these RBFX prosthetics in many different tutorials coming up. And right here I'm just laying down the edge on the nose. I didn't really like how the nose piece actually fit on this prosthetic. It is generic, so you know, you don't expect for it to work perfectly, but just thought it was a weird fit on me. But I still thought, you know, this prosthetic came out pretty darn well. So basically what I'm doing is I'm laying Prosaid on the edge right now. You know, like I said in my previous videos, if you lay Prosaid on the edge of the foam prosthetic, the Prosaid will seep through the prosthetic and seal and lay down the edge. So just applying glue to the edge will glue down the edge. It will go through and attach to the skin, because the edges are generally pretty thin. And so, you know, like always, I'm applying probably too much Prosaid. But you know, again, I'm applying to myself. It's kind of hard to see, but I probably should not use as much. Right here I'm just trying to lay down the eye. I'm trying to make sure the brow is solid under the eye, make sure it's pushed all the way up. I like to use the end of my brushes to do that. I just add a little bit 99% alcohol to the end of my brush, and then I hold the prosthetic down with it. What I'm doing right here is I'm actually getting my airbrush and using my airbrush to dry the Prosaid. Just basically blowing air on the Prosaid to dry it so that the prosthetic will stick and stay. I'm using a little 99% alcohol there to apply the glue off my eye. See how my eye is being glued down? So I'm getting a little 99% alcohol on the end of one of my brushes and separating it. And then I'm going in with another brush right there and putting powder down to seal it off so that the glue does not make my eyelid stick open. Alright, so I'm using more powder on my eyes. And I still feel like, it's not holding, so I'm going to add a little bit more Prosaid to see if I can seal this prosthetic down. And again, make sure your model's eyes are closed when applying Prosaid around the eyes, because they will get their eye glued open. And be careful not to get Prosaid in the eyelashes and glue the eye shut as well. Alright, so I'm just adding another layer of glue around the edges just to make sure it's all sealed up. Alright, and right here I'm using a broken off, I tore a piece of the sponge off, and I put a little bit of water in it, and I just basically textured around, just thinned out the Prosaid around the edges, because Prosaid is water soluble. So I basically took some of the Prosaid off. Now I'm going to do my Bondo stipple. That right there is Bondo stipple. It's basically thickened Prosaid, maybe with Cabosil or just, you know, blended to thicken the Prosaid. Prosaid stipple or Bondo stipple or just Bondo, whatever you want to say. I make this stuff, so I actually have my own little recipe for it. And this stuff is awesome. The other side over there that I'm applying the Bondo stipple to, I pulled it a little tight. I feel like there's a big edge over there now. It's a weird edge. I didn't want to pull it up and lay it back down. So what I'm doing is I'm filling the edge with some of the Bondo stipple, because that's what it's for. Is if you have a bad edge, use a little bit of the stipple, smooth it out, make sure the edge is nice and, I guess, smooth or gone. And then generally I like to go over the top of it with a sponge, a damp sponge to, yeah, there it goes. I use a damp sponge, just a little piece of a damp sponge to add a texture as well as thin it out a little bit, smooth it out as well. And now I'm using my airbrush again to dry the Bondo stipple. It's the airbrush definitely comes in handy when needing to dry some prosthetics or just any kind of glue. And so I'm just, you know, I didn't have terrible edges with this, because generally, you know, these RBFX pieces really blend extremely well and just have really nice edges and are extremely awesome sculpts as well. So make sure you guys look them up on Instagram especially, and follow RBFX, at RBFX. Alright, just going around the nose. You know, I did say the nose I didn't think fit very well, so I'm putting actually quite a bit of Bondo stipple, or just Bondo, on my nose piece, and trying to see if I can blend it a little bit better. I pretty much got the piece laid down. Alright, there I am, posing with it. It's looking nice. Of course, I'm acting goofy like always. What a weirdo. Sorry about that, guys. And right here, I'm going to start painting. This is Mels prosthetic paint. Mels packs, actually. And then I have tons of their skin tone, so that's what I'm using right now. I think I'm using like an olive 2 or something on my skin right here. So yeah, I think this is an olive 2 maybe. I forget the colors I use exactly, but basically what I'm doing is I'm going over this with some Mels packs to seal it up. And to seal up the foam prosthetic, because you do have to seal the prosthetic either with just Prosaid or packs, or, you know, just something so that you can paint over the top of it with, you know, alcohol or water or any type of paint. So what I'm doing is I'm stippling on the packs with just a sponge. And what I'm doing is I have 2 sponges in my hands now. I have one sponge that I sort of thinned out the packs a little bit with a little bit of water. And then so I'm going over with that one, with the pack sponge. And then I'm sort of blending it with another sponge that has nothing on it. It's just a sponge. So I'm using both. So I'm putting a little bit of packs and then I'm blending it to the skin. Putting a little packs and then I'm blending it with the skin.
And I'm going past the prosthetic because I want to blend the packs with the rest of the skin, so I'm sort of feathering it off, like maybe going up under the eyes, so I'm extending the packs past the prosthetic, which is totally fine. And not a lot of people like to use packs on the face. I've said this before, but I love it. I think packs is awesome. There's really, you can do so much with it. So when I like to seal my pieces, I like to also just extend past the prosthetic as well. So right here, I put a little bit of packs in the airbrush. So there's also people are scared to do this, but I thin out the packs with a lot of water, and I just do light layers of packs, really thin layers of packs, to help blend the prosthetic to the skin. And I'm using a couple of different packs colors, a couple of different of the Mels skin tone colors. I know I'm using an olive. I might be using like an alabaster, maybe a really light color to sort of go over and blend it a little bit. But I did end up getting a clog in my airbrush. I didn't thin out the packs as much as I probably should have, but you can still use packs in your airbrush. Don't be discouraged. And if it clogs, just clean it. All right, so I'm going back over with maybe a little bit lighter color now. Just stippling it on with a sponge and then blending it. Right here is the, now I'm going to be using the Premier Products Grunge palette, or not Grunge palette, the Premier Products Custom Skin Tone palette actually. And I'm actually just flaking it on with a chip brush I got from Home Depot. So I'm just using 99% alcohol to activate the paint, and I am mixing it up, really thin washes and spots of just some skin tones. Just some, I think I'm using maybe some rice paper right here to sort of, lighten this piece up. Not so orange, because it is kind of orange. I noticed that I did make this, I have a little bit more orange tones in this. But I know I'm going to use another palette as well to do maybe a little bit of Lividity from Premier Products. I'm going to stipple that on as well. That's in a couple of different PPI palettes. Lividity is a very popular color. And maybe I'm using it, maybe it's in the Zombie palette. I don't know. But I'm using another one of just Lividity to throw a little bit of red in there. It's like a little like purplish red, but I really like Lividity. It's a great color by Premier Products. All right, making some faces, being a weirdo like always. All right, let's check it out. All right, so if you get too much spots or whatever when you're stippling or spattering this on from the chip brush, you can always tap it down with your hand. Just knock it down a little bit. And I'm trying to blend. I just put a little bit more packs in the airbrush and try to blend my nose piece because it was looking a little weird right there. All right, so as you can see, I'm adding more packs to the airbrush, and then I'm thinning it down, adding a little bit of water in there. All right, so now I'm going over the nose, trying to make it blend. Still going over the nose. I just didn't like the nose on this thing, but I think the end piece comes out pretty well. Still working on the nose, so just stippling some color on there. Two different colors right here. Trying to blend it, and so it's looking much better now. I think it's blending pretty well. It's pretty shiny, but let's see. Now I'm using the stipple brush to stipple some colors on there, some PAX colors. It's just some, I'm just using all kinds of different skin tone colors to really blend it with my skin. Just adding some spots here and there. Try to blend it. Maybe another olive or something. Olive 3 maybe. Alright, now I'm tapping it away. Adding a little, I think I'm adding some alabaster right here, some just white. Basically, it's like a white skin tone. And then I'm doing really washy layers of it, really wet. And then I'm sort of dabbing it away with a sponge, like blending it a little bit better with a sponge. Alright. Just adding a little bit, looks like I'm adding some olive to the skin, just blending it around. Still just blending it all around the face, just adding some colors. Now I'm using some really washy Premier Products alcohol based colors. I'm just, trying to fill in the wrinkles a little bit. I'm just adding a little bit of color to the wrinkles. Maybe some like a little bit darker brown just to the wrinkles a little bit, just a tiny bit, not a lot, just to maybe highlight some of the wrinkles, even though these wrinkles are pretty, pretty out there, so you can see them really well. Alright, doing a little bit more spattering with the chip brush and the Premier Products skin tone palette. Alright, look at that. I'm looking pretty good. I think, right here I'm powdering a little bit. I'm using that other bdellium brush, powder brush that I have, and I was powdering a little bit, so here I go. Just going to powder just to try to take off that sheen a little bit, because there's a sheen on this and I'm not liking it because of the packs. And generally powder will get away with a little bit of sheen, and I'm okay with a little bit because it looks natural that way. But I just I'm using it. I'm looking like a weirdo. What am I doing? All right, this is the look, guys. This is it. Awesome. Well, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching, guys. There you go. Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Sidney Cumbie. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, as well as go to my website, ishootthedead.com, and follow me on Instagram, ishootthedead. And until next time, guys, catch you later.